Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious show.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bigfoot, yeah.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Got a lot of stuff to go over here today. I know, Jaybird, you've been working on the Halloween movie. You had some KVJ Nationers out yesterday working on that.
I believe we had 25 awesome people come out. Everyone was really, really cool. You never know. I've been telling you some weird stories by putting it out to the public and filming some people. I've had some weird moments.
Yeah, and you attract weird. Let's not forget that variable.
The whole project's weird. It's a low-budget horror movie. It's weird. But everybody yesterday was so awesome and nice and fun. So I had a great time. I hope they did as well.
Good actors, too.
Yeah, everyone did really, really good.
Yeah.
Well, it helps if you want to be there and be part of a project. Some people don't want to be a part of it.
Me.
For Fringe. Yeah, she's a lot of fun to direct.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've got till 12:01 to 12:09, fuckface.
I got responsibilities over here.
You
Childless fuck. You just run. You run through life with reckless abandon.
This runs free.
I wish.
I didn't fucking ask you to have any kids.
I know. My husband did.
Yesterday I was telling you about how Due South is going to be closing up. December 19th, I think it is.
I saw that on the Instagram, and then I saw you hanging out with Doug of Due South.
Yeah, hanging out with a couple people from the crew there. I was talking to them, because they just found out on Friday.
I bet they're shook.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to come of it. I'm hopeful that somebody else will pick it up and run with it. So, it might mean changing locations because I think their landlord had kind of tripled the rent. So
that's happened at a lot of places.
Yeah.
I can't imagine during a pandemic taking somebody's rent. That's the behind the scenes of why the Pizza Girls had to close on Clematis. The landlord of that building, got greedy.
Yeah.
And they said, nobody's coming to work right now. It's a pandemic. We sold pizzas to business people that came to work downtown. Like, we don't have extra money to pay double for rent.
Yeah.
So that's why Pizza Girls closed, because of a landlord.
It's a real problem. It's one of my big questions. If anybody has the answer, I'm just curious, what power a city has to step in and deal with some of these landlords. There's a great location that is on Clematis and Olive, right at the corner there. It used to be Dax way back in the day, and it was a thriving place. It was awesome. It was a daiquiri bar. And it was one of Virginia and I's favorite places to go and people watch.
We would sit there because there was like a bar, but it faced out onto the street. So you could pull up a stool right there and you sat like in this open floor to ceiling window space.
And I remember Dax ran into trouble because the mayor at the time's wife was on the trolley and she went by Dax and she saw a couple getting it on at the tables outside. She's like, we got to close down this cesspool. It's ruining our city. And so there was kind of a personal fight and, Dax didn't wind up winning and it went away and I was so bummed. And now that place is just closed. And I've talked to different businesses and they say, some of the rates that these landlords request, nobody can afford. And there's no way you could have a successful business model because you'd have to make so much overhead that nobody could afford to do it. And to me, I don't understand why, because to me, it's a blemish on a city street when you have vacant storefronts and there's nothing in there. And why can you not put a vacancy tax on these landlords to say, okay, dickface, if you're not going to have a reasonable rent so that somebody can take this on, we're going to tax you for every month that place sits vacant. So you're going to lose whatever money you think you're gaining by just sitting on this place and not renting it out at a reasonable rate so we can have a great business in there.
That That place has been seriously open with nothing in it for years now.
Yes.
The thing about the Pizza Girls, as soon as they moved out of their spot on Clematis, a new pizza shop moved right in.
Well, yeah, because they got all the pizza shit right there. I mean,
Right.
It's easy breezy for them.
Yeah.
I wonder how that pizza is.
I don't know. And I wonder if they're able to pay the rent, with not all of the workforce coming back to work downtown.
I'll tell you what, man, that pizza Denny's brought me home from New York, even though it was hours and hours old, that shit still turned out. It was really good. I did love that pizza.
Yeah.
Just they had pizza in the brain. You talked about Pizza Girls.
Pizza.
Pizza. Yeah. It sort of makes sense.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he had gone to a presentation, and apparently West Palm Beach is about to undergo major transformation. You've got the Related Group and a lot of these big companies, and now so many New Yorkers are coming down with money, and they apparently have bought up. If you look around the Bright Line, there's still some old little houses there. And you're like, how is that there? That land has been bought up. They're going to be knocking out all those houses. They're going to be putting up high rises.
Oh,
and
wow.
Apparently they bought out a lot of Clematis Street, too. And they say they're going to redo all of Clematis and make it a very high-end street, kind of like a Worth Avenue.
Wow.
On Palm Beach. So, and it sounds like they're kind of going high-end. I think they're going to try to make West Palm look like Palm Beach. So the good and the bad, one, I think it's going to be nice. That's a good. The bad is it might start getting really expensive over there. And apparently they want to really close the gap between Rosemary Square and Clematis Street and, the Intercoastal. And so West Palm, I think, is about to really kaboom.
Yeah, I just think that street has always kind of struggled with its identity.
Yeah.
And my friend opened up a very high-end restaurant on Clematis back in the day, Forte, very high-end.
Yeah.
But the problem was he could not get enough high-end people to patronize it. A couple of things were working against, the crowd on Clematis was a little intimidating. The parking is a mess. And it was hard for people to get in and out of the restaurant without drama.
And plus, not everyone likes octopus testicles.
If people are going to put high-end things on Clematis Street, they need to look at the historical failures of high-end things on Clematis Street and figure out why those things failed.
Well, I think, what they're looking at and what they're saying is, how many new high-rises have gone up, higher-end apartment complexes in the area. And so that's what it is. They are really transforming who's living down there. It's a lot more livable space. We were over on the 500 block on Friday eating. I was like, good heavens, there's about 4 or 5 new apartment complexes, or relatively new, that have gone up. And so I think they've sounds like it's a group that knows what they're doing. They got the money, and they're saying, we're coming in, and this is what's going to happen. So
I bet it's expensive as fuck, though.
If they change the landscape and they make it easy, I think
that's what they're doing.
they can do it.
Yeah, they sound like they know how to do it and what they're going to do. So it has changed. I've heard even the tax base of Palm Beach County has changed a lot. I think it was New York City lost, what was it, like $20 billion in taxable income with all the people that changed their residency status from New York State to Florida that have money. And they're all coming down to South Florida. So it's going to be a different game. So we'll see.
People from New York coming down to Florida, bitch about how Florida's not as good as New York. What the fuck are you coming down to Florida for?
Yeah. Well, there was something else that I saw, not just due south, but Brown Distributing. Looks like they are on their way out. They're going to be laying off 277 employees before the end of the year, and they're selling their distribution footprint. They had distributed Due South and Cuesta Brewing and Steam Horse and some of the other craft beer places. So I don't know what's going on with Brown, but it looks like the person who is bringing us the beer now is...
Aren't they Budweiser, too?
Yeah, they do all that stuff.
I mean, that's kind of the king of beers.
I know. Yeah, I assume somebody else will snap it up, but it may not be under that name anymore.
I'm not worried about if there's a beer shortage. Somehow Virginia would find a way to make beer and bring it into work.
Don't you worry. If you need a buzz, I will make sure you can find one.
My favorite.
There's so many options. There's so many things we can do. You will not go without.
I feel like you would do real well making your own moonshine. Call it witch shine. Ooh, the witch shine. Yeah, I'll take some witch shine.
This is a food thing that's going on. North Palm Beach's BurgerFi has purchased Fort Lauderdale's Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza for $161.3 million.
Now, does that mean BurgerFi can change up the recipe of a Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza?
Yeah, they can do whatever they want with it now because they are owning it and they are going to make some changes. They say that they're going to expand the use of Anthony's delivery-only ghost kitchen called the Roasted Wing that they began in November of 2020. They say they're going to be opening up smaller, fast casual versions of the Anthony's chain. They say Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza, 61 locations in 8 states. BurgerFi now has 116 nationwide.
Okay, it sounds like they're not changing anything, though. They're just going to expand.
They're going to grow.
Yeah.
They figured that, Anthony's is doing it right, and they're going to do it even more right.
Yeah.
Spread it more.
And these places really haven't been around too long. Anthony started with Anthony Bruno. He had his first pizzeria in 2002 in Fort Lauderdale, and then expanded to 50 locations and then sold out in 2016 and is just reaping that money. And then BurgerFi didn't debut until 2011. Their first ever was in Lauderdale by the Sea. And now look at how massive they are.
I like BurgerFi a lot.
I challenge you to find a better onion ring than the game they are spitting with them onion rings at BurgerFi. They are good.
Is that a
They're
fun
doing
road
right.
trip? You just drive around trying to find onion rings around these parts?
I'll tell you, I'm a connoisseur of onion rings, and some people do it great, BurgerFi, and some people do it terrible. I'm talking to you, Culver's.
Do you want to do an ORF? Onion Ring Friday.
I love it.
Okay. What do I need to get? I'll bring the onion rings, you bring the equipment.
Okay, you need to bring me some grease.
I want to get all kind of different kind of onion rings.
You need to bring a deep fryer.
They got the Nathan's onion rings. You got all kinds we can get.
Oh, we're not making our own?
I don't, but fuck yeah, let's do it.
I don't eat frozen onion rings.
All right, let's make them from scratch.
If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, and we're going to make them from scratch.
I don't think
But they still won't be as good as BurgerFi. There's just no way I can humanly duplicate the
they got it
magic.
down.
They got
Yeah.
it down.
Their French fries are great too.
Yeah, they are.
Now, the Anthony's, I'm not a big fan of. I think it's pretty overrated pizza, but I guess I'm in the minority. They always seem to crush it with these lists that they're on.
Yeah, well, I mean, even aside from that, I mean, they're doing well as a business model. I mean, maybe they will change some things up, but I guess you can't.
I mean, just because you don't like it, though, I mean, obviously some people do. If it's that big, I didn't realize they had that many locations.
Yeah.
Well, that's pizza. There's some people that it is not my type of pizza. Now, can I eat it? Yeah, it's not disgusting by any means. I just find it a little bland for me.
You're a penis connoisseur.
I'm a penis.
Really? All right.
You're a pizza connoisseur, though. You really are. I think I could eat any kind of pizza because, I mean, they're all awesome to me.
People say that, pizza's pizza. That's not true at all. Pizza's not pizza.
That's how I am. I'm kind of like, I could like any pizza.
That's
I mean,
insane to me.
I don't love it, but I can still get down on Little Caesars.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a different flavor than a Anthony's, and that's a different flavor than a Camille's, and that's they all got their own flavor.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm seeing these Detroit-style pizzas starting to take off.
I know, and it excites me. That's my kind of stuff.
Yeah, my son got a pizza last night, and I don't know if it's Detroit style, but it was square, kind of like it come out on a baking sheet, and it looked a little bit thicker.
It's not as thick as the Sicilian, but yeah, it's got that crispy
It's a little
edge.
thicker. It's thicker than what your normal pizza is, but it's not a deep dish kind of
The
thing.
last 5 years, you've really seen Detroit style kind of take off, and I think it's going to even get bigger.
Really? Okay.
I do. I think you're going to see the Detroit go big with a lot of places.
People want it a little bit doughier, but not as doughy as some of the real big dogs.
Well, it's like anything. If you love pizza and you're eating one style of pizza, eventually you want
change it up.
to fuck around with a different pizza.
Talking about Virginia making her own booze, somebody said, weren't you making that prison hooch, Virginia?
Yeah, I have it over here, but Denny's said we should let it stay over here for a month.
Oh, that's so gross.
It's in the bag. It's just fermenting. But
Okay.
Denny's says it takes a month.
It doesn't seem right to me.
Okay, so if somebody want a timetable on that. That might be a good punishment for Do It Bitch in about 3 weeks.
Even if I win Do It Bitch, I want to drink some.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I
all
want
right.
some of that too.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't know us. We're pirates.
I don't think it's a punishment at all.
It is not a punishment. It's actually a treat.
Never
Well,
mind
yeah, because
that.
you've nurtured that thing from the beginning.
I've been stroking it. I was making a cool TikTok about the whole making of it, and frickin' TikTok deleted it. I don't know what I did wrong.
She was making a TikTok.
Okay.
I'm so mad.
I took out the word cool.
She was just making a
Well, it
TikTok.
broke down the recipe. I guess I could do it again, but
I was working on a weak-ass TikTok the other day, and halfway through I go, what the fuck you doing? Abort?
Here's something else to try, spaghetti donuts.
Ooh.
J-Beck said, I came across a recipe for spaghetti donuts recently and found that they were a big thing in 2017, but nobody told me. Almost all of the recipes I found online were for savory spaghetti donuts, so I tried spaghetti marinara and spaghetti carbonara donuts. They tasted pretty much exactly as you would expect, but I don't know if I like that. What do you think of a spaghetti donut? What do you think it should be? Next time I might fry them and go for a sweet and creamy flavor with a fruit dipping sauce.
It's a beautiful email, first of all.
Okay.
Second of all, I support the spaghetti donut.
Spaghetti donut.
Third of all, y'all need to try my famous spaghetti burrito.
how do you keep a spaghetti donut together? Like, is it just spaghetti that you put into the shape of a donut?
That's kind of what I was trying to
I don't
figure it out. I was
understand.
looking at. That's the only thing I
Is
could
there
figure out.
dough and then there's spaghetti and then you fry it?
Yeah, you could put the spaghetti in the dough, first of all.
Okay.
And then you could also put spaghetti on top of the dough.
Okay. And then it's savory instead of sweet. So
Think
instead of
so.
like frosting, you would use like a marinara.
Yeah.
cheese. Oof. That is just my game.
That could be very fun.
I gotta bring you guys. Well, Kevin, I don't know if he would eat it. Probably not. It's definitely not keto. But this, there's this big ass Chicago deep dish pizza at this pizza place by my house, and it's like eating a fucking cake. And you're cutting in there,
Oh,
and
wow.
it keeps going deeper and deeper. And you're thinking you're gonna hit the bottom. You ain't hitting that bottom anytime soon. And it really is like eating a pizza cake. And I want you guys to try it with me. It's delicious.
Saturday night in Miami Beach, I went to this place called Carbone, which
Okay.
is like a fancy,
Yeah, I've heard of it,
like an
yeah.
Italian place. It's out of New York. But you would have loved this, Jay Bird. When you sit down, before you even order your drink, they bring you like this bread basket. There's 8 different types of bread, but one of them is like a thick, like a pizza.
Yeah.
It's like a focaccia without all the BS. It was just the dough. The edges were cut off. It was super soft, and there was a light coating of like pizza sauce on top of the bread. Oh, and I don't even usually get down on carbs like that. I am still thinking about that bread. How many days later?
Oh my gosh.
They also brought a little plate of salami. They brought a plate of like little vinegared vegetables. You would have liked that, Keto Kev.
Yeah.
It's so funny. You talk about how you keep thinking about that meal. There are certain meals I've had in my life where I still think about. I can almost taste it for a second. I always talk about that one grilled cheese where I took a big old bite in the movie theater and then I passed out in the movie and the waitress took it away. And I woke up 5 minutes later and it was gone. It was the best bite of a grilled cheese I've ever had.
And you just hope that maybe somebody in the kitchen ate it and that she didn't throw that thing away.
But I think about that grilled cheese all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Food's like that. It's powerful. It's good stuff. Yeah, we've been trying out different happy hour places because kind of like we're right in that wheelhouse. You save so much money going to happy hours.
You do.
Do you know the happy hour meals they do?
Yeah, they'll do. I
Get
mean,
little appetizers.
you'll get a drink, pretty much everything. Like last night, where we went to 123 Datura last night, and everything was half off. So it's like half your bill from when you go out. If you like to go out like we do, I'm like,
earlier.
yeah. I'm like, what a good time for us. So yeah, we've been doing that. So we did that the other night. We did Kapow on the 500 block the other day.
I love that.
I love those Brussels sprouts they do. You know how they do that? We got that. They had the peppers. They had a pepper thing that was
The
really good.
shishito peppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those things are amazing.
So they say like 1 out of every 10 shishitos is supposed to light your ass up. And it's kind
Okay.
of a fun game of Russian roulette.
All right.
So you eat, 10 of them. One of them is supposed to just be like, whoa.
Look out. Yeah.
Fire.
So we did that. That was kind of fun. So that's kind of been our new little jam here. So yeah, I love finding new restaurants.
Me
I
too.
do too.
Yeah.
My whole family, other than my dad, was just we're food people.
Yeah.
And some people aren't food people. They don't kind of like some people aren't music people. Some people go, yeah, I'll eat a sandwich because it's keeping me alive. I don't give a fuck what I'm eating.
That's why I had so much fun in Miami Beach, because all we did was just eat and then walk to the next place we were going to eat. It was so awesome.
Down in the Keys, Bigfoot took us to this breakfast place.
Okay.
One of those.
They got some great places there
I didn't
too.
even plan on eating, and I just saw what everyone was eating. They made it. Now the size is something that we got to talk about. The size was fucking awful. Like a 3-year-old would have eaten it. And
Portion?
Terrible, yeah. But the actual grilled cheese that I had, an appetizer grilled cheese at this breakfast place, it was so good. And I keep thinking about
What was the name of it?
Overpriced grilled cheeses. Right off the Vol. No, it was called...
it wasn't that Sarah Beth's where
No.
I went on the way out.
the flying red. Fuck, I can't. Fuck.
Flying red fuck.
Flying red fuck. All right. I'm going to look it
I
up.
can't remember it. It sucks.
Okay.
It was good though. So guys, when you're down there, look it up.
Flying red fuck. Key West,
There
Florida.
You're not
is,
gonna find it. I'll find it.
Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
The Little Red? No.
Yeah, I've already wasted enough of everyone's time with this one. We can move on. Just
Red
know,
Tide is a problem in South Florida.
just know that I had a great experience.
Was it Red Shoe Island Bistro?
It was not.
Okay. And then they've also got the Little Red.
Was it the Phoenix Rising or the?
Now you're on Phoenix?
I don't fucking know.
See, this is why you shouldn't drink,
The
kids.
Red Garter Saloon in Key West?
Doesn't feel good, Kev.
That's everything with red in it. That was the only... No.
Have you looked up the Phoenix?
That's everything with
No,
red.
no, we're done.
Yeah.
I feel like I've derailed us again.
Big killer, big killer.
Yeah, and you know, the other place that's really booming is somebody's telling me about Alton there. That they're getting ready to put in a Miller's
Yeah.
Ale House, and they've got another fancy bar that was there. But my friend did warn me because my buddy and his wife, they went to the bar, and they're like, hey, can we get a tequila shot? She's like, I just want your best tequila. Give me one shot. And she came over, did the shot, and her bill was $212. So don't order the most expensive shot of tequila that nice restaurants have.
I'd be so bummed out. You probably wouldn't even catch a buzz.
Is it that one that comes in that giant, like, blue and white carafe?
Yeah, I don't know. That might
You got to
be.
watch out for that one, because
Yeah.
that one, and then there's one even higher than that one that comes in the black carafe. That one will kick you in the dick.
Yeah. Don't ask, like a whiskey or whatever. Don't ask for the most expensive they have in some of these places in South Florida. Because I think there's a place in West Del Rey. They've got it's $10,000. I think. Yeah.
'Cause
So if you ask for that, imagine if you got a bill for $10,000.
One out of every 20. It's not bad to have a little dick kicking in there.
Claz Azul. That's the one I'm
Right,
thinking
yeah.
of. It's a really
Clase
pretty
Azul.
bottle, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's even a black one that's more expensive than the blue and white one. Just be
Yeah.
careful.
One of these days. I'll get one of those.
Well, just go with like a fancy pants person. Sometimes you'll go and like there'll be somebody that has a lot of money and they're like, I'll pick up the check, and then you're like, sweet.
Okay.
I hate hanging with people that got too much money. I get uncomfortable. I'm gonna start breaking into tater-tot topics. I'm like, motherfucker, I want to talk about the Dow, the fucking, Dow Jones.
Don't talk about the Dow.
Just saying.
Got an email here saying, did you know that there is a national mullet championship for kids and the finalist photos are priceless? Had me cracking up. I was on today.com.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the mullet is out big time here. You got, look at that kid. He's got the Blades glasses to go along with it. Yeah.
There's no way that kid doesn't grow up to be a douche.
You know, the mullet thing is really it is actually taking off again. There's a lot of football players that are doing it. In fact, there's a team that's doing pretty well. Coastal Carolina. They're out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and like half their team has mullets. Ohio State, my team, they signed a quarterback kid out of Texas. He's got a mullet, a dyed mullet. And he's the number one recruit in the country, and he's already signed over $2 million worth of endorsement deals, and they're making mullet wigs in Columbus. And so, it's a big thing that's catching on here.
It's not your fault, kid. You don't know it's wrong that your parents are doing that to you.
I think some of these kids actually, like I said, with these athletes are doing it in college, and then, young kids about my son's age, they're starting to see it, and they're like, I want one of those. I want a mullet. So it actually, I think for kids where you've got nothing to lose and you don't care if you look like a douchebag, you're like, yeah, I'll take a mullet. So.
Well, they like the attention, too, because people start laughing and smiling and telling them how great it looks, and they don't get the joke.
Right. They're like, all right.
This just in, Shannon Davenport in our chat room got the answer. It's Firefly in Key West.
Firefly.
You would like this place, Kevin, too.
Okay.
You both would have. In fact, I thought about you guys quite a bit on my trip.
Look at you.
And then I go, remember, Virginia's on my trip, and I don't want to think about her anymore.
Firefly in Key West.
You would have loved the decor.
Yeah, I really want to get back down to Key West. I'm due for some kind of trip.
I want to go down there to do goofy Key West shopping for my house. They have some really cool, just odd statues and furniture.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really neat. That if I was just chilling out there and not had to go to a wedding, I would have brought back some cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I could just, like I said, I've often thought, I've told the Queen, I'm like, one day we're just going to go to Key West and call it good, and I'll go work in a bar, and
you would
be it.
That's where you would settle down for the rest of life.
Yeah, I could see myself being there because it's just chill. I like just going in places. I like just having random conversations, and so I think it'd be a good time.
That's how I feel about Oregon.
Okay.
I'd like
you go to Oregon, I'm going to Key West.
Yeah, I think you'd be a little bit bored, I think, in Oregon.
Me?
Yeah, I think eventually you want a little spice.
I'll get some spice in Oregon. Yeah, I mean,
he had sex in a barn one time, Virginia.
Bah.
That was great.
It's an interesting follow-up we got from an email that came to us back in 2017. They say, I want to give you an update. I sent this email years ago regarding a colleague who was continually wearing the same pair of yoga pants to work each day. To quickly recap, I had reached out when she was closing in on the 50th consecutive workday, confirmed by the same little random bleach spot on the back that couldn't possibly have been replicated.
Oh my gosh. So they had it down to a bleach spot.
They did the work on this one.
And I just want to hear your perspectives. And of course, as always, you guys crack me up on how you all responded to the email. A part of the original story that I left out was that each morning when this person showed up at work wearing yet again the same pants, I quickly took about 5 to 10 minutes of my morning to create a unique graphic for the day on Microsoft Paint. Anyway, this individual ended up wearing those yoga pants for a total of 210 consecutive work days.
Did the top rotate?
It's a great question.
I think so. I think it was just the pants.
The other thing, too, on day 211, what happened? Did she shit herself?
Did you finally say, enough, and cut them off of her?
I think we do get an answer here in this email. It goes on to say, yeah, she could have been depressed, which, of course, I would hate to poke fun at because I know personally that mental health is nothing to make light of. I like Kevin's perspective of taking the Steve Jobs black turtleneck approach to life and eliminating the time taken to each day decide what to wear. But honestly, it was V that was the one who nailed it with her comment of, people are weird and people are gross. To wrap this up, inevitably, we learned this individual was and is a gross person. She would openly argue with doctors' offices and or pharmacies multiple times about her Valtrex prescriptions for all to hear. She would fart audibly at her desk for surrounding cubicles to both hear and smell. She would pluck the few single hairs that grew from her chin mole about once a week or so. She would shop for dildos and vibrators on her work computer for anybody walking by her desk to see.
What?
She would microwave fish in the common places almost daily, despite being continually asked not to. According to the female staff, she often would be found leaving a stall and having a war zone left behind, like overspray on the back wall type war zone with no attempt to clean it up.
I got a big problem with that.
And then the best was she ended up blowing the CEO on a work trip years ago, which is the funniest part because now that CEO is no longer running the show and has essentially stepped down. And guess who else finally got let go? And that's why the 210 days ends there.
Wow.
How about that? What a dirty little world.
Blowing the CEO. Well, I tell you what, Virginia nailed it with that very wise quote. Some people are weird. Some people are gross.
Yeah.
it's the truth. It's just that simple. Some people are weird and gross.
Not everybody is set the same.
Yeah. I think it just kind of sums it all up.
And the CEO. Ugh.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Can't you do better?
You'd hope, right?
You would think.
Dang.
I mean, this nasty girl.
Yeah. Dirty girl.
And you hope that's just a bleach spot.
Do you
hope.
Do you think that she washed the pants when she went home?
I don't.
There's no way you could wash them every night.
I think she probably washed them once every
Week.
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe even once a month.
Damn.
Yeah.
I bet you if you really did the investigation, there was tomato soup on those pants.
That's pretty crazy.
You're lucky if all you got is tomato soup.
That's probably not tomato soup, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant period blood?
Well, I did it originally, but then you kind of followed up with my tomato soup question. Like, it could be gross. Yeah, it could be period blood.
Just might be.
Wow.
All right, got a birthday shout out here today. My daughter's friend Cheyenne is turning 23 today of Drunk Girl Trivia fame.
Oh,
So,
get it, Cheyenne.
yeah.
What's she doing to party?
I believe they are going back to Siesta Key this weekend, so hopefully we'll have some Drunk Girl Trivia next week from them.
Nice.
So, yeah, they've gone up there. They love doing that Airbnb thing, renting one of those, and they get some cool little houses. And
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun little thing.
Back when I was in college, they had, and it still exists, VRBO, VRBO, Vacation Rentals by Owner. And so we used to do those too. It's the same thing. It was the old version of Airbnb.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Airbnb is cool, minus all the murder.
But if you go with a big group, I feel like it's better.
It's
Yeah.
less.
It's hard to murder a group,
Yeah.
but it still can be done.
It's harder, but that's every scary movie ever. The group gets murdered.
True.
Yeah, when they went there last time, they hung out with some of the cast from Siesta Key, the MTV show.
I do remember.
G-Baby.
G-Baby.
Yeah, Caitlin said, I guess G-Baby's got a girl now, so probably not going to be hanging with G-Baby.
I'm sure G-Baby's faithful.
Yeah, I'm sure you could talk G-Baby into having a little fun.
Reality stars are usually pretty on the up and faithful.
Yeah. Oh, another thing, too, I check out kind of on the Airbnb tip, Elmer, who was our KVJ Nationer that flew in this weekend from Houston. They did something that was really cool. There is an app. It's like Airbnb for cars called Turo, Turo. And you can go on there and you can rent out a car. It's crazy. He said, he's like, I got this car I've always wanted to drive. And the woman just met me in a parking lot, gave me the keys to the car. And I'm like, how are you getting home? She's like, there she was. I'm like, I still don't know how she got home. Because she dropped the car off, gave me the keys, and I drove away. And there she was. Maybe she Ubered and left. But yeah, you go on there and you can get all kinds of different luxury cars that you can check out, or anything from Sprinter vans. And sometimes about just like $200 a day or whatever. That's what you do. So if you go to a city, instead of getting a rental car, you can get, maybe a car you might want to drive and zip around town, especially if you go to a cool little town. You're like, hey, I'm in Vegas. I want to drive something nice.
Huh.
So it's called Turo, Turo. It's car rental, basically. Same thing as Airbnb.
Wild.
I'd never heard of a concept. I'm like, how smart is that, though, isn't it? So if you have fancy cars, you could put it up on the Turo app. Imagine if you had a car, you could get $200 a day renting that thing out.
Oh my gosh, so many people be jacking off in that thing and doing weird,
Yeah,
oddities.
that'd be my fear. I get it back on semen seats.
Yeah, because I'm sure no one's going to be jacking off in those cars. Whatever.
to be jacking off at every inch of it.
Oh,
you
there's-
get it back and just a cum-filled car.
There are some people who just rent the expensive car just to toss off.
Just to do it, huh? Well, now you know. Turo, we offer cum-filled cars.
Remind me never to rent a Turo with Jaybird, because as soon as he gets in it, he's just going to be tugging.
I
There
never
it
said
goes.
me. I'm just saying the other people will be jacking it.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Well, the things you learn. You guys have a great Tuesday.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.